I wanted to title this next 10 minutes of starting off with real estate is everything you think you know is wrong. I thought that was quite clever, the title. So, some of the myths. It's always fun to talk about myths. What's one of the myths that they came up with is a listing agent works for me as a buyer. Have you ever heard that?
No, but I'm sure people.
Okay,
You're not allowed
supposed
to
to
answer.
answer a
You're
title,
not allowed to
right?
answer. You know, it's the one selling is what throws people
For-
off
for
into
the-
the name selling agent.
Well,
That
again,
throws
not many
people
people
a lot.
think that,
They
right?
think selling agent seller for some reason. I have to go, no, that's listing. So that's why I was like,
If I start walking towards you, I'm out of there, but you're going to be heard a little bit more with the microphone. So that's the reason why I'll be walking back and forth. But the list of to save money going unrepresented. Have you ever heard about that?
Yep.
How many people do you know that goes up and says, I'm only talking to the listing agent?
No.
Why is that? You know, so if you do end up thinking that you save money, do you realize that the listing agent is getting the whole compensation? Not just what they would if they were on the listing side and gave half of it to the buyer agent. So do you think that they end up
I feel like your camera
representing you as a buyer just because they're getting more commission? If there was a challenge between the buyer and the seller during the transaction, which over 60% of transactions close with different negotiated terms than we started off with, who do you think that they would have a tendency to represent? The seller or the buyer, if they knew that they were
The seller.
supposedly
The seller.
taking
I mean, the
care of
buyer.
both?
the seller.
The seller would be their number one because they were the listing agent. In other words, Elizabeth, whenever you end up, there's a lot of buyers that want to work with the listing agent. They think they will
What I
save
was
money.
thinking was that they already know they're gonna get the commission on the listing side, so let me be more partial to the buyer.
I've also seen where buyers think that the seller, if you go to a listing agent, because the listing agent's there, they get a better deal on the price of the house because the listing agent's getting both sides.
Yet you don't know, and of course I'm walking towards you because I'm trying to get you to, I'll just repeat what you had said. Yes, or sometimes, and I hear that too, is sometimes the buyers think that they're gonna the listing agent will just cut their commission so that way the seller ends up making more money. Not always. You never promise that. They're assuming that. So anyway, it falls into myths. New construction, I'm gonna run through this too. New construction doesn't need an agent. How many people go look at new construction and they said, oh, I'm just gonna go to the office and I'm gonna check it out and I don't need an agent because they're new construction. You hear that a lot? So that's another myth busted. The builder's rep works for the buyer.
Builder.
Sorry, the builder's rep works for the builder. Bring your own.
Oh.
It doesn't cost you anything. So that's a good lesson for buyers. Yes, commissions are negotiable. More times than not, on our side, I know I see your timer there, more times than not, the buyer is not paying their buyer agent. And what we're finding is that more times than not, the buyer agent is asking for their commission to be paid by the seller anyway in negotiations. So even if originally the seller wasn't agreeing, they are ultimately in the contract. That's what we're finding. So new construction, yes, and that follows along the same idea with Mike. Get inspections on well, no, you're an inspector, but it's still insurance. Get inspections on new construction. There are a lot of people that end up having a lot of issues with new construction. I can cancel my contract anytime. Miss your inspection and finance window, and your earnest money has a new home. We're dealing with that personally right now. We're on the listing side. They missed their deadline. So yes, you can cancel anytime, but within your contract amount of time. So when you think about myths, people think, oh, I can cancel my contract. I think of the opposite in a minute. And I want to let you all know to share with other people. A lot of people think that because they signed something, and you got to sign something for buyers now as well as listings, you need to know that you can cancel your contract. You just have to read and see what the cancellation fee is. So a lot of people say, well, I can't end up changing agents because I signed something with them. Yes, you can. Go look at the cancellation clause. There's always a cancellation clause. The same with if you end up knowing somebody who is renting. There's always a cancellation clause in there. Well, let's put it this way, not always. Most ones that my people have found. So Zillow estimates are accurate. As Chuck says, Zillow is as accurate as all the, well, now I'm saying.
No, the A in Zillow stands for accuracy.
There we go. A in Zillow stands for accuracy. So
There
yes, they were.
There is no A,
Might as
therefore
well
there
use the
is no
property
accuracy.
appraiser. You might as
Yes,
well use the
and as
property
is
appraiser.
means I can't walk away. As is started off with the bank-owned property days where everything was sold as is, meaning that the seller, which in that case was the bank, is not willing to do any repairs. Nowadays, that contract is used a lot, so you just have your inspection time period. So you can walk away, make sure you talk to your agent about your deadline so you don't lose your escrow, because the buyer on our transaction right now is losing his escrow because he missed a deadline. So it happens. So fun fact, 79% of each of, I'm just looking what's the timing? 3 minutes. Okay, 79% of buyers search online before ever calling an agent. Your yard sign is still important though. So yes, and I've heard this from the National Association of Realtors too, 97%. I don't care if they all have an agent, 97% of people always usually search online first. At the peak of 2021, buyers toured just 3 homes before writing an offer.
Wow.
Down from the usual 8. Now these are national numbers. Some just never walked in the house at all. We had a customer that never saw it until closing day. So that happened years ago. So Florida law requires disclosures of material defects,
Still happens.
but not a murder on the property. Surprise! We've seen closings fall apart over a couch.
Sorry.
Don't-
It'll be fine.
Don't
You'll be
buy
fine.
furniture on credit before you
It'll be fine.
close.
You can edit it out, come on.
Okay? Do you hear that?
Yep.
Don't do anything with your credit if you're in the middle of a transaction, because you can lose your house. The most expensive U.S. home listed at $295 million in Bel Air sold for $126 million. Every seller thinks their home is worth more.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Mine
Okay.
was.
So, and a realtor is a trademark item. Not every licensed agent qualifies. Like Kleenex, all tissues are the brand, and of course, not all realtors are the same. So go after somebody who has that license. I recommend. You don't have to, but I'd recommend. Wide-angle lens can make a closet look like a spa. Photos are not the home. Go see it in person, or like we do, have Chuck go over there, or one of your realtors to go over there and take a video of it and FaceTime it, because it looks a whole lot different.
Mm-hmm.
All right, with just 2 minutes left to go before our lender, things buyers and sellers should know. Don't buy furniture on credit. We know that. Our open house is also a showing for nosy neighbors. And possibly some great referrals from those neighbors. So yes, we want those in there. Know who's actually working your file. So the sign in the yard doesn't always mean that's the agent that you're working with. Florida HOAs are fine if you HOAs in Florida can fine you for the wrong mailbox color. So read your HOAs if you're buying or somebody is buying. And then we're not gatekeepers of homes. We're the people keeping you from buying your neighbor's problem. So I thought that was a good way to end it. There are so many different things that we could end up laughing about and being aware of about real estate. So just reach out to Chuck and myself when you have any more details and more specific questions. We do a YouTube channel talking about what Seminole, because I live in Seminole County, so what Seminole County is doing week after week. We post that on Mondays, and then Chuck has does something like a trivia per city each day of the week on our YouTube channel, Deborah Morris Home Team as well. So if you just want to know little extra tidbits, look there. If you want to know some more specific things for your neighborhood, whether it be here locally or out of the state, please reach out to us, and then we can help you, or at least connect you with someone that does.
Thank you.
Thank you. We didn't laugh as much as I planned on, but I thank you so much for your time. All right. And with this, stay tuned.
turned it off.
Well, how's everyone doing? Yeah?
Stacy?
Did you make it to the, do I have to hold it?
Turn it, hit the red button. There you go.
Okay. Now we're live. I'm doing good.
Love you
right?
in your Atlantic Bay blue
'Cause It's
today.
been a day. Does it feel like a Monday to anybody besides me? Because it felt
Yeah,
like
we've
Monday
got it
all
going
day.
on.
It was like, I kept getting in the same spin thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, I'm not making it better. But anyway, now that we're here and I'm having a glass of wine, it's so much better.
Yes.
So who played an April Fool's trick on somebody today? Anyone besides me?
Susan, anybody at school?
I guess we could call it that.
She's a teacher, so you
I
gotta.
didn't really tell some of my students that we were doing a waste audit, which meant we were digging through trash to see our trash from yesterday.
Oh my
But we
gosh.
do it with an actual audit though, so it's
Okay.
really great data that we get from it. But they
Interesting.
survived, they were okay.
How old are they?
A high school student.
High
So they
school.
really loved it.
When she said a waste audit and digging through trash, all I was thinking of dirty jobs.
Well,
Anybody
tell her-
else?
tell them what-
I mean, that's all I could think of. I'm like, oh my
Hey,
gosh, that
they
sounds
should
awful.
thank me. They got experience.
Well,
with every
tell them
job.
what your title is. You.
I'm an agriculture teacher, so they do.
Oh, that could be really dirty. Yes.
It's all good. They
All right,
survived.
so how many people in here like talking to mortgage people? Not even my realtors. Thanks,
Oh, we
Mike.
love you.
Yeah,
Come
see?
on.
You
Okay.
didn't say talking to you.
So one of my, you like talking to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Only the people that have to talk to me because it means their clients can actually purchase whatever it is they're selling, like to talk to me. Because people who need a mortgage, it's not that nobody wants to talk to me. This is not a myth.
Not
This
the
is
fun part,
this is the
right?
reality, right? Unfortunately, I'm a means to an end, right? Lending is a means to an end if you don't have a lot of hundreds in your pocket, okay? Oh, lots of hundreds.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, I wish these were all real, guys. Oh, it'd be amazing. But it's a necessary evil, and it is a way to give people freedom. It is also a way for them to help build wealth, which is one of my biggest passions for most people that end up financing their homes, is that they understand that by financing a home today, they are building wealth for themselves in the future, right? And there are very few Americans that have built wealth without owning property. It is the #1 way Americans build wealth in the United States, and that is by owning real estate. So it is, a lot of people are very nervous about it. I talk to a lot of people that are in their 60s, single women that are older who have never owned a home before, and they never wanted to own a home because they don't want the idea of the headache, the things that you've got to do to take care of the home. They're like, well, I don't either. I don't do handiwork. I don't do yard work. I don't do any of that, right? And I can't even imagine having to do it. But the good news is there are people I can pay to do that. And if I don't like doing it, if I don't want to learn how to do it myself. But if you don't own a property, I will tell you a story of a woman that I've known for as long as I've been in the industry, even before I was in real estate, before I was in mortgage, over 30 years ago. And a woman, her and her husband, they were one of my handymen, and they did a lot of rehab for us. And they bought a property down by oh my gosh, Gotha area, which is Winter Garden, for I think $130,000 many years ago. That property is worth over $1 million today. Didn't add on to it, didn't do anything special to it per se. I mean, obviously they took care of it, but yeah, in less than 40 years, her property that she paid over $100,000 is worth over $1 million if she were to sell it. So today I actually spoke with a family that is paid off their home, and they are actually pulling money out of that home to do some renovation and do some other things. You know, and I'm like, it's a blessing that you've got a giant piggy bank,
they have a $400,000 $400,000 piggy bank, and they're gonna pull out 100 to go do things that they wanna do. And you can't do that if you've been paying rent for the last 30 years, right? So every dollar you spend in rent, you're throwing it down. Now, what is the number one myth in real estate? God bless you. The number one myth.
20% down?
That is the number, still, to this day, the number one myth.
They think they have to put 20% down?
The people, when people come to me, they're like, well, I haven't saved enough money.
Oh,
They
yeah.
always think they haven't saved enough money because, and I literally had an 8th grade teacher confuse her class of accelerated students on this fact. She had told them, she invited me into the school to talk to them about home ownership and literally told them the day before that they needed 20% down.
Oh,
So
no.
I led with the question, I didn't know this, I led with the question, how much do you think you need to put down to buy a home? And like 10 of them raise their hands, and I'm like, wow, they're engaged, I love this, right? So they raise their hands, and so I start calling on them. And the first answer is 20%. And I'm like,
No.
it's a good guess, but no. And then a bunch of the other hands just lowered because they didn't know what to say because the day before their teacher, who is the end all be all, we know this, right, in school, told them that's what they needed. Where the confusion lies is in order to avoid mortgage insurance, at least on a conventional loan, you must put down 20%. That's where the confusion happened, and this happened probably before I was born, back in the 60s this happened, right? When loans that were significantly of a higher loan to value were able to be done, right? Because until we had private mortgage insurance, you couldn't do that. So that is the number one misconception. How about you should wait for rates to drop before you buy?
Oh,
No, right?
no, it's gonna be
Here's the thing. We saw what happens when rates drop, right? How many of us saw that back in
Prices go
20?
up.
Yeah, who remembers the two? How many people in here have 2 or 3% interest rates? Anyone?
I did.
I get it
Yeah,
too.
yeah. My numbers are under 3, so I'm
Yeah,
super
beautiful.
excited, right?
You did too.
However, the problem that happened then and will happen again potentially is that when interest rates drop, the supply and demand shifts tremendously because now everybody wants to buy. So when we have more buyers than we have properties to sell,
Right.
now guess what? Now you're paying over, and I did this back in 22. I paid $5,000. I offered $5,000 over what they were asking because I didn't want to mess around, right? And I decided we were moving, and that was the end of the story. And we had said no to another property, and I really had wanted that property. So I'm like, no, we're gonna pay $5,000 over because you know what? You know what $5,000 means in your mortgage payment? $30 a month. $30 a month. You can't even go to Chick-fil-A for 2 people for $30 anymore, right?
Insurance will go 30 more than 30.
Yeah, right, exactly. So if you wait, there's this saying that I really don't like. How much time do I have left, Chuck?
30 seconds.
Oh, I can't read that. I can't. 30 seconds? No, a minute. Okay, so there's a saying,
2 minutes.
You
marry
need
the
to
house,
spoon feed
take
too?
the rate. Take all the time. Have you heard that? It's pretty cheesy, but
Lynn
it's
says you're gonna
true.
have 3
Once
minutes.
you own the house, once you buy it for whatever you buy it for, it's yours. You're not rebuying it. Now, you can refinance it and get a lower rate in the future if that happens. And quite frankly, rates in the 6%, how many people in here saw rates double digits in their lifetime? Yeah.
I purchased some seeds.
Yeah, yeah. So 6%, rates in the 6s are not bad. And the reality is that interest on a rental property is 100% interest. It's not 6%, it's 100%. So you're throwing money down the toilet. And I don't have that much time. I'm gonna get donged or something in like 20 seconds. Checking your mortgage options will hurt your credit. That's also a myth. We pull a soft credit pull initially until we know we're moving forward. And that soft credit pull does not even hit your credit score, you'll never even see it.
I'm gonna ask a weird question.
Yeah,
Even if you have a high credit score though, you can't negotiate the interest, can you?
there's no negotiation per se with an interest rate. It is based upon what the market is prevailing at, right? So can you buy it down? Yes. However, if the lowest rate I have is this, you can't get any lower. And honestly, some of those lower rates you can't get either because there are legal laws in place that I can't charge you so many points to buy a rate down. You can only pay so much. Okay? All right, well, obviously I could talk about this all
I'm
day.
gonna say, make an appointment with Stacy, she'll talk to you more.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming out this evening, we appreciate you. Oh, here.
I was gonna say, I think that
Just
speaker.
give
microphone-
Stacy,
No,
Stacy.
Give it to me.
Oh, he said give it to
Give
him.
it to me.
Let's say the
Give it. It stopped working.
It stopped
You
working.
need to listen to the guy
Perfect,
that's
that'll work,
recording.
I'll just talk louder.
Yeah, talk about it.
Just do it.
Hi, I'm Lynn Houston with Brownstone Title Services. We've been in business 20 years, actually, this coming June. Christine is my business partner. We both also are licensed agents as well, so I think I've got some experience to lend in there. The first thing that comes to my mind all the time, and I deal with this after 30 years of working in the industry, is if you are on title, who's a husband and wife? Do I have any husbands? I got my husband and wife here. Okay, so you're the sole provider in the home, you're raising the kids, and you come in and you get the loan and you qualify, you come to closing, because obviously we need you there for reasons of the mortgage documents. But it ends up, it's just in your husband's name, okay? And then something happens to your husband. Who gets the house? Sorry, bud. Who gets the house?
The state.
Yeah, the state. Eventually. No, does anyone know who gets the house?
In some states.
Well,
the
who-
license at all, whoever's the
Okay.
next of kin.
Yeah.
And it's,
Right, and see, that's, I think, where the definition of lineage gets misunderstood. I had a lady back in West Palm when I was running a law firm and building their operation come in, and she had one walking, one toddling, one the carrier. Husband was in Miami, 36 years old, had a massive heart incident and died at the job site in Miami, and she could not understand who owned her home because they kept saying you can't sell. And so after I looked at everything, I said, you know who owns your home? The one standing, the one toddling, and the one in the carrier. They own the house. Your spouse is not your lineage. Doesn't matter how long you've been married in the state of Florida, your spouse is not your lineage. So as title agents, and if we take note of that, and it's not necessarily a responsibility, I want to be careful not to pursue any legal, because I'm not a lawyer, but by definition, we match what the mortgage says, and the mortgage was in a married man. So that's what happened with this other title company, had done her closing and put this young man in a married man. Never put husband and wife. So therefore, she had 3 children under the age of 5 that owned the house. So that will then turn into guardianships until they're the age of 18. So you're paying legal fees, court fees, all kinds. You can't make a move without the court. So not always common if you have both on the application. Guess what? You're both going on the mortgage. But if you are a sole income house and the wife isn't on, really critical that to protect your spouse to be able to have that property. It's important that they are on title, not just married to you.
Even with homestead?
They have homestead rights. They have the right to live there, but they have no fee simple
But
interest.
she was not on title.
She was not. It was
She
in a
was
married
out as a
man.
married man.
Just a
It
married
was not
man.
husband and wife.
She never was on fee simple. She had the right to live there, but she Oh, had, wasn't obviously joint. has the right to Wasn't live joint. there, but as far as to Wasn't sell joint. it.
It wasn't
she had to
joint
get
because they
court
didn't add her
approval
on.
to sell, and 3 separate guardianships. There's no guardianship.
He was on as a
for
married man,
kids.
so it went to the
Each
minor
kid has their
children
own
instead of the
guardianship because
spouse.
they turn age of majority.
If she was on there,
And
that
there's
wouldn't
maintenance
happen.
fees, there's loads of stuff that goes into that. So she just couldn't understand. That was a hard one to explain, very hard one to explain, because she had a long road to go. So.
Wow.
So that's something a lot of people don't realize. They think their spouse is their lineage. And I know in some states, you're absolutely right, it does pass automatically to the spouse, but in Florida, not. It goes to your children. It can get even stickier if you can imagine when you have blended marriages. Because then what happens if you have a blended marriage? I steal your husband from you. You have children, I have children. We own a house together. Something happens to me. If we're on title as tenants in common, we're not necessarily joined or by spouse. By the way, if we're not married and we're on title together and there's not specific language, my half goes to my heirs, Chuck's half goes to his heirs. And that's a lot of blended marriage. I experienced that with my parents. My dad was remarried and there was blended marriage. No children together, but blended marriage. So it can get stickier. It can keep going down. Yeah.
What if it's under trust?
That's a whole different thing. The trust will prevail, and that's how you can avoid having estate matters, is have it through a trust, absolutely. There's also life estate deeds. There's, they call ladybird deeds. I'm not sure who came up with the term ladybird. I have no idea where that came from.
I think that was
I should probably
What
Google
was
it.
it?
What?
The woman, Johnson, right?
Oh, was it a case or something?
It was president.
It was probably a court
Oh,
case.
okay, ladybird.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for that, because I did not know where that term came from, but I've said it for years. That's a situation where you retain all power, but you gave yourself only equitable and homestead interest, and you gave your fee simple to your beneficiaries. But you can retain all your power. Trust is really a great way to go. Sometimes if you have simple portfolio of assets, a trust can be very simple, it can take care of it. Most people will add their children to the deed or do a life
That's what
estate.
we're considering is doing it in a trust.
Yeah, do a trust, you can do that and spell
Could
out
they
your
take
beneficiaries.
title and the trust be the remainder?
The trust be the
Oh,
what?
yeah, you can have a trust as your beneficiary,
Yeah, but, and also the trust, bring who's gonna be the next one, somebody
Yeah.
not capable, so it is a benefit.
Oh, yeah, depending upon how complex you get. In my situation with my father, they each had their own trust that went into a family trust, because he had a blended situation. Blended situation, yes. I'm kind of going off some of the stuff that I've heard you ladies say, and share a story of the don't finance in the interim. Woman came into our office in Maitland, this had to be 89, 90, oh no, I was out back in college, it was after
Late
96, 96, sorry. Came in, I had the closing, and I mean, she was out here, ready to absolutely deliver in my closing room. And I got called I had somebody come in and tap my shoulder and pull me out of the closing room, and they said, you gotta stop closing. I said, why? Because I'm looking out the windows at their moving truck, she's
They had it
pacing,
parked
she's
out
out to
front, yeah.
here. Oh, the moving truck and everything's in there. And these are the days when the moving truck came to closing. People actually all came to the table, you had 10 people there. Everybody was at the closing table. And the trucks and everything waiting in the parking lot, and I had to cancel the closing because she had gone and gotten $10,000 of furniture. But she said, we don't have any payments, it's interest deferred. Wait a minute, we don't have to no, you just did. And literally, I think she delivered in the next 24 hours, because it was really
They
rough.
denied their loan.
And they denied him right there.
So
and
they
then.
put ready, but yeah,
That's crazy.
you know.
A will always come into play, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That comes before the other.
Well, a will would be considered in the trust, but it wouldn't come before one of the
It
other.
wasn't in a trust.
Okay, so,
There's a will
Start
there.
probate with a will.
It's a probate with a will instead of a probate
You
without a
have to
will.
do the probate, that's true.
And not to the children.
It's not yet
Right.
10 minutes. She's got 10 minutes.
I can tell you,
It wasn't her and there's kids on both sides, but it was left. to her.
right, and I've definitely, personally I've had people I know personally go through this experience with the blended marriage situation, and it's a short-term marriage, all of a sudden everything's going to somebody nobody really knew. I will tell you, anybody can challenge a will. Anybody can challenge it. I can't promise it'd be successful, but anybody can challenge a will. That's the beauty of the court system. You can go in there and file an objection and challenge anything you want. It would be up to judicial decision then at that.
The length of time, the length of time that they're
To
married.
dispute something, or length of time married.
Length of time married.
There'd be a lot of factors, I have to think, whether the person was under duress, how many faculties did they have when they signed that documents?
Or if they sign.
If they had if they signed, there's so many aspects that could go on in that situation. for sure. I can't stress enough estate planning. I cannot stress that enough. Definitely estate planning is such a critical thing, and people in their 30s, 36 years old, this man had a massive heart incident. So no preparation. I know there's an insurance gentleman in here, and I'm an insurance junkie, and that's the other thing. Title insurance companies do a whole lot of work with the closing and the money and the papers and all that stuff. But we're actually insurance agents. We're issuing a policy of insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a lot of people think of us as just functioning with a closing. And we're not, we're actually insurance agents. But I can't stress enough, estate planning, life insurance. Stacy brought up the 20% mortgage insurance thing. I can't tell you still the amount of people that come to the closing table. Now this insurance means if something happens to me, my loan's paid off. No. You're partially right, but I'm going to finish that sentence. If something happens to you and you no longer pay your mortgage,
Something is going
and
to
they
happen.
kick you out of the house, the mortgage insurance pays the mortgage off, but doesn't pay it off because something
Not to
happened to
you.
you. It happens because you quit paying. Mortgage insurance does not. That would be credit life insurance, and I strongly am. I'm more of get a life policy, not do credit life. I hope I'm going the right direction because I would not want to step. I've always done it that way. I've always made sure our portfolio had enough ample insurance to take care of my husband and family, vice versa to me and my children if something happened to him with our debt load. But never, I don't think credit life is the way to go. But don't assume mortgage insurance is paying anything for you
No.
at all.
It only benefits the lender.
The lender, they do pay
You
off
pay
loans,
for
but they
it.
pay off defaulted loans.
Yeah,
Not loans
you
of
pay
people
for
who
it, but it
passed.
protects us.
Yes,
Or
and again,
defaulted.
I can't stress enough, there's, it's a big number in a long term when you're borrowing and buying, but
don't
it's
know.
just debt working
You're
for
in
you,
charge.
debt working for you, so. How am I,
I'm
oh,
saying
good,
it.
oh, thank you.
No, you're good.
She's like, yes, I'm done.
When I tackle
Thank
you'll know when I tackle
Which one did we? I forgot. And I forgot which one I put next.
Legal miss.
Very good.
Hi guys. I have a major issue with whoever picked the order that we're going in because I'm not better looking, I'm not smarter, and they stole all the good bits already. Deborah, when she asked me, she told me to keep it light, keep it fun, so I'll start off with just a little easy question. If your income
again?
stopped, what's that?
Who are you again?
Oh, I'm Brandon. Hi.
You are.
I'm Brandon Phillips. I'm with my financial advisor with New York Life. And as I was saying, she told me to keep it light, keep it fun, so I got a little question for you. If your income stopped tomorrow and you had no paycheck coming in, no more commissions, how long could you go and maintain your current lifestyle? Right, nice little fun question. Icebreaker. A month, maybe 3, maybe a year. He's yelling at me. Sorry.
Make sure to set up an OnlyFans account.
Click of a button, brother. Click of a button. No, most people don't know the answer to that question, and that's not a knock on anyone. The problem is we're taught how to earn money. We're not really taught how to structure our money, or really how to understand our money. We do a very poor job of that in this country. That's one of the things I want to talk about is the key difference between just earning money and actually making sure your money is working for you. Building wealth isn't about just throwing money at investments. It's about having a strategy and having a plan, right? There's a little concept I want to talk about very briefly. Making sure that not just when you're throwing money at your investments, you're doing it in a way that makes sense for you and your goals. There's a little concept I want to talk about. It's called the triangle of wealth. It's the basis for almost anything we do. And I know when I say wealth, it can imply big numbers or anything. We got CJ over there. We got Chuck here. I don't know if you guys know this. They were Marines. If we get numbers above 10, you guys might have to let them borrow your toes. Just a heads up. Sorry. So the triangle of wealth is a simple little concept. It's you're not going to believe this. It's a triangle, right? And there's 2 parts of the triangle. So Ernst & Young, they're a London-based accounting firm. They're one of the big 4. They did this massive study, spent way too much money to tell you the obvious, and they came up with you should be putting 70% until the age of 55. You should be putting 70% of your money toward investing and 30% of your money toward savings, right? If you're a little more conservative, maybe 60-40, then at 55, we kind of pivot into some different things. So we got the triangle, you got 70% on the top, that's investing, 2 different types of investment. There's paper assets, what we call paper assets. It's what you're more familiar with, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things like that. And then we have physical assets. Anybody in this room want to guess what a physical asset would be as an investment? Real estate, of course. So you've got your physical, you got your real estate, and then you have your savings. The savings is more important than the investing. There's a saying in our business that says, investing will make you rich. Savings keeps you rich. Without the savings, you go broke again. No matter how rich you get, if you don't have the savings, you go broke again. Every time. Because, just like with real estate, prices go up, they go down. Stocks go up, they go down. You time it wrong without an actual plan, you have no backup. Savings keeps you rich. Investing makes you rich, savings keep you rich. There's three accounts you should have inside of savings, right? You should have your emergency fund. Everybody familiar with what an emergency fund is? Cool, I won't spend time on it. This room might be a little more interested in what's called an opportunity fund. Opportunity fund is what happens, it happens in the stock market, it happens in real estate, about every 7 years, everything goes on sale. We have a dip, becomes a buyer, things become more affordable, right? Housing prices go down, markets go down. Right now, the market's doing this, right? And when it has those big dips, everybody gets scared, and it's actually the best time to buy if you have that opportunity fund, money just sitting there to take advantage of these. And you have a buffer asset, that's as we get closer to retirement. We can talk about that offline, right? We'll talk about it a little more later. So, when you have that triangle of wealth, the most common first myth of the night, she told me to talk about some myths. First myth of the night is that this is only for affluent people. It's completely false. This is for everybody. This is the basis of financial planning. It's not about, hey, how much money can I put toward it? It's reallocating and making sure what you already have today is working for you and allocated in the right areas, right? And then if we can build, as we build over time, our income goes up, cool. We add to the plan as we go. So that's my little lecture. Now I want to talk about some myths around, as I see it, around real estate as it comes to finance. And you guys can help me out. I'm not a professional. I don't work in real estate. I work in finance. Myth number 1, is it a myth, is it not? You need a lot of money to invest in real estate. Can anyone help me out?
No.
No? Cool, I have a prize for you. Pick this up. Please, you don't have them all. They're sticking together. Don't spend that in one place.
You need
Also,
credit. You need credit for 200.
Hmm?
You need credit for 200. I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
For
That was a
200,
good-
I'll take. You need
No,
credit.
Absolutely. So no, you do not need a lot of money, or you don't need a ton of money. These guys can help you out more. There's programs, different types of loans, everything else. But you need a strategy. You don't need money. You need a strategy. You need to understand the taxes. Myth number 2, you need perfect credit to buy property.
Depends.
Anyone?
Depends.
Depends, right? It helps, certainly helps, and sometimes it can disqualify you, but you don't need an 800 credit score to
How
start.
is your need? How's everything? How much money you have? It depends.
And somebody else already talked about this one. You should wait until you have all the money saved to start investing.
Not really.
Why not? What happens while you're saving money?
You're doing nothing with it.
Everything's getting more expensive, hopefully. Hopefully things are going up. The market.
Put your money in dirt and it grows.
Great. Okay, so there's a couple myths. Real estate can be, I got one more that you guys aren't gonna like from me. I don't need any diversification as long as I own real estate.
No.
Good. Wrong.
It's a myth. I know you guys are upset with me. That's not diversification, that's called concentration. Putting all your assets into one category. Listen, I'm the first one, I tell everyone that I meet with that was interested in real estate, it's a great idea. That's my first thing. It's a great idea. My second thing is make sure you talk to Deborah and Chuck. Make sure you talk to Lynn. Want to use Lynn? Yeah, sorry.
Stacy's a
She
lender.
confused me
Yeah,
because you
Stacy's
walked
a
up.
lender.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're blonde.
Sorry. Make sure you talk to everybody in the industry
We're
and
just
make
both blonde. We
sure
got confused.
you understand what you're doing
$400.
first. So the last thing I want to talk to you about, and I try not to be the typical financial advisor, as I just shut off my notes for no reason. I try to give you a little bit of time back. So there's one thing I can do and Ryan can do for everybody in this room, and you definitely talked about it. The mortgage insurance doesn't, what if something happens to me, does it pay off the rest? No, it does not. The first thing I tell everyone that buys a house, the cheapest, I can help you with a plan. I can help you get a plan, I can help you understand the tax implications, I can help you understand the right places to put your money, how to allocate it. I can do all that. I can help you with a plan. I can't tell you a house. Chuck will tell you. I know nothing. It's very annoying. He's tired of answering my questions at this point. I can't help you buy a house. I can't help you with your mortgage. I can't do all that. The fine folks in this room can help you with all that, but then come back to us. Come back to me and Ryan, because you just spent a lot of money, hopefully, on a brand new toy, a brand new investment. Is it not? Is it
Well,
not?
I mean,
Yeah,
sort of.
tell
Tell me if I'm on base when
Sure.
I say this, because I will tell people in closing, listen, like I say, big numbers, big amount of money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
But I'm like, listen, I'm not a financial advisor, but I encourage you, do not worry about, because they're always like, okay, can I make extra principal? Can I pay extra? I'm like, listen, don't worry about this one if you have debt doing nothing for you. Credit cards, installment loans,
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
You need, if you've got 300 extra bucks a month,
Yes.
don't worry about 30 years and 300,000.
Yeah.
That is true.
Pay
Not
that
at
300 bucks a
6%
month on
interest
something
rate.
doing nothing
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I always say find somebody with financial advisors, because if you have and if you don't have other debt and you do have surplus income, then maybe you
give it to you.
diversify
Give it to
and
you.
diversify. And I do tell people that look at your options, because this is almost like a little wheel that's just going to take cruise control.
She's fine.
Cruise control.
I tell people all the time that want to pay off, like, oh, we should pay it off quick. It's a bad idea. Well, it's not a bad idea. It's never a bad idea. But start with, if you really want to pay it off early, one a year. Make one extra payment a year.
Bi-monthly or something.
However, not all debt's bad. It's a that's another myth.
Yes.
Debt's not
No,
bad.
it's not.
As long as we have a plan and,
And
we
you
can
manage
manage it.
Correct.
So I say that, she touched on it briefly. The easiest way, the first thing I say to people that go buy a house is protect what you just bought.
Yes.
Big numbers, right? 500,000. You just bought a
30
house for
years.
500,000 over 30 years. A 35-year-old guy can protect that for $30 a month. Now, if something happens, your wife gets to stay in the house. Your kids get to stay in the house. They don't have to go back to work if she's a stay-at-home mom. It protects 4 things. The mortgage protection, it protects your income, it protects your debt, the actual mortgage, liquidity. If you structure right, there's different types of insurance. They can give you liquidity when you need it. And also, lastly, control. Thank you so much. With the right planning, it just gives you flexibility. You don't want to be forced into making a decision you didn't want to make. A correct financial plan will avoid you from doing that. Thank you, Deborah, so much for inviting me. Thank you all for giving your time. And I'll leave you with this. You don't need to be perfect to get started. You just need a plan. If anybody in this room is open to it or knows anybody that would benefit from a conversation, we'd love to sit down and talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question that you don't have to answer. Is it a good investment to rent? Don't answer.
I got a story for you
Depends.
after. It's absolutely no.
Hey, as long as you invest somewhere else, right?
Yeah, time.
I was gonna say, what about my California guys? They rent in California and they buy your money here.
Actually,
It's a portfolio, right?
to buy.
If I, can I just add one little thing to what he was stating, is that
As long as you get in front of the video.
I don't really need to do this, because I just wanna take a second. But who remembers 2007, 2008,
Oh, I do.
right?
I don't remember yesterday.
There was once upon a time where we mortgaged people, and some mortgage people will still tell you to do this. Will tell you, if you make one extra payment towards your mortgage, you'll pay it off 5 to 7 years faster, right? However, here's the thing. When somebody takes money and they throw it to the principal of their mortgage, it's tied up in that house. If things go south, like they did back in 2007 and 2008, everybody loses. But what's, to me, which maybe shouldn't be this way, but my company loses, the banks lose, you lose. That's the most important thing to me, because $100,000 to you is not like $100,000 to a bank, okay? So instead of putting your money into that house, give it to these gentlemen here, who can then take that money and make more than the interest rate you're paying on that house, and you can grow that money on the side, right? faster than what you're gonna pay this down in. So it only, and here's the best part, you have control of that money, not the bank. Because if the bank takes this house from you, because you can no longer afford to pay for it, any money you put in there is gone. So let your money grow in your own controlled account outside of it.
Good reminder. All
Alright.
right, Jason, you're up.
Say it.
We saved the best for last. He's like, did you really say that?
So I want to first thank
Okay.
Stacy.
Well, before you start, Brandon asked if you could just say one thing. You're gonna have to get up and, you're gonna have to get up and talk in front of me.
Don't worry, he loves the camera.
Hold on a sec, Jason, just 1 second.
Hi guys, my name's Ryan. If I haven't introduced myself, I'm co-work with Brandon with New York Life. One thing with something that we specialize in is tax diversification. So what she was saying with the mortgage protection, what Brandon was alluding to, we can do this tax deferred and also have your withdrawals tax free. So instead of having market risk, real estate risk, and other investments, we can grow that money tax deferred and tax free. So God forbid something were to happen, we can pull that money out of the policy and actually pay your mortgage off potentially. You guys are in the business of real estate. If I can have them pay off a mortgage that's 30 years and 15 years, that allows a lot more money for them to maybe come buy a second property from you, reinvest in other things. And again, we can do it tax deferred and tax free. So yes, please come talk to us because no one likes to pay the government, right?
No.
Thank you very much.
Well said, well said. So first I'd like to thank Stacy Luna and Deborah Morris for allowing me to be here, to inviting me and to talk to you lovely folks. I promise I probably won't take 10 minutes. Oh, there's a timer. But so my name is Jason Lower Frazier Contracting, your trusted residential and commercial roofing contractor. So we are a general contractor, but however, for the purpose of this exercise, for the purpose of this event, we're going to focus on roofing. Okay, we're going to focus on the roofing side, on how we can help realtors and the realtor market. So I've got 4 silly April Fool's
Silly.
questions. Okay.
I like it.
All right. So how many of you in this room or know someone outside of this room have a guy to fix a roof leak, or even replace the roof just for a case of beer and a handshake?
Today?
Now, all joking aside,
I don't know anybody that does.
everybody
something like
here,
that today.
especially the realtor market, should have a good handyman to fix something. But if it has anything to do with the roof,
No, they don't touch it.
No.
okay, you should not have a good handyman on the
No.
roof. The handyman should be inside the house,
Yeah.
or in the driveway, or in the yard. Okay, everyone here should have a good handyman. And I got a guy. If you guys need a good handyman,
I got a guy.
okay. However, all joking aside, when it comes to the roof, it should be a licensed roofing contractor, even if it's not being permitted. Okay, you should have a professional roofer go up there and fix the problem, stop the leak. They'll find other issues that are, if they're doing their job properly, they'll find other potential issues up there and fix that problem before it gets worse. Okay, so who has ever tried to fix a roof leak with a bucket, a prayer, and some duct tape?
Duct tape wins every time.
I personally know people that have gone to their roof
Really?
and gone out and got roofing bull, roofing cement, or other things, and try to fix a roofing leak. And it may stop it. You can put a Band-Aid on something, it may stop the leak. Okay, you can put a Band-Aid on something, but it's gonna start leaking again in 2 months, 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. For God's sake, get a roofer to go up there and fix it. For every realtor that's in this room, that, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening and closing is in 2 weeks. Get a roofer to go out there and fix the problem, especially if it's really the roof. Or if it's if the problem is from the AC, from condensation, get an AC guy to go out there and fix it. Okay, not just a handyman, because all they do is tape it up and temporarily fix it. Okay, so please get a professional.
And if it becomes part of the contract on an addendum, you must show us that a licensed roofer is the one that did it with an paid invoice.
Bingo. She beat me to the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So especially if there's a closing in a couple days, a couple weeks, get a professional roofer to do it, because it's on the paperwork. Okay.
For insurance as well, it has to be a certified.
Thank you. So
Contract.
well, that's later.
Say
Okay.
Look at that, we're
So
saving time.
on the same note,
Update for all 3 or 4 of you that were chiming in. If the buyer's agent has done his job, they would have found this in the inspection. not 2 days before closing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to insurance, either getting, keeping your coverages the same or being able to keep the policy, they want to see the roof done by a professional general contractor with a roofing license or a roofing contractor. Okay, same thing. GC with a roofing license, the same thing as with a roof with a roofing license. For God's sake, get a professional to do it, because most insurance companies are going to look at that brand new roof, see that it's not done by a roofer, that it's not permitted properly, and they're not going to count it as a new roof. Am I correct? Most of them. There are some that you get lucky, but for the most part, if you want it to count as a new roof, you got to have a roofer do it, or a GC with a roofing license. Okay.
And then it's a mess.
And then if you don't do it, if you get some handyman to do it, then it's a mess. Like she was just saying, it's a complete mess. So, true or false?
False.
A roof, I love wine. A roof is like fine wine.
Yes.
Okay? It gets better with age
No.
and improves over time.
No.
No, it's wrong.
What?
Unless Frazier put it on.
Why bother respecting it for the next 20 years? It's just getting better, right? It's like fine wine.
No.
So,
No.
all joking aside, for crying out loud, once, if you love your home and you want to stay in there for a long time, I would start checking that roof out. Let's just pretend there's no leak. You see on the ceiling there's no leak at all, okay? And it looks right from the outside. After 10, 11, 12 years, have someone inspect it anyway. You may actually have wind damage. You may actually have hail damage you don't know. Okay? Now, you guys have heard me before. I'm not a storm chaser. I don't go around door knocking looking for storms. But I can't tell you how many people actually have hail damage on their roof and don't know. They actually don't know until they have a professional go out there and look at it, take pictures, and then they can see the craters as big. So have someone after 10, 11 years, just go out there and inspect it. Every roofer gives you a free inspection. No one's going to charge you. If anyone charges you for an inspection, take him out of your book. Okay? We do free inspections. We all do. All right? So we'll gladly go up there, inspect the roof, look for granular loss, take pictures, and show you the evidence of what's going on.
Okay. Guys on TV say all you gotta do is spray this new stuff on there and you're good for another 20.
I would say 20. There are some products out there that are coming out that will make it look nicer and shinier. However, some of them actually will seal a little bit, but it's still not gonna. Number one, most insurance companies don't count that as a roof.
Exactly.
Okay, most insurance companies are still gonna. Wait, how was the roof? When was the last permitted? Okay, you're still gonna replace the roof.
That's a good point, yeah.
So
You need five years of life, right?
What's that?
3 to 5 years of life? 5. You need 5 years of life. So on a home inspection, when you're purchasing a home, if the roof is not brand new, essentially you're gonna have to get a wind mitigation at a 4-point.
Correct.
If it doesn't say that there's 5 years or more left of life, Mike is not gonna give you an insurance policy.
That is correct.
That's gonna be,
Insured, you're just
it's gonna be ugly. It's
Depends,
gonna be ugly.
depends upon the insurance, it depends upon the type of roof, it depends upon the build of the roof. There's a whole lot of factors other
Well,
than
That's
5
why
years.
the roof is okay because in
I,
the middle
I
of
just
the
got
zone.
I just got a buyer, closed the house, the roof was 13 years old, there was no problem. with
No,
insurance.
that's not a problem.
No, what I'm saying is, it was older than 5, so there are those, but
No,
5
I
is the
don't-
rule of
I don't
thumb.
mean that it was older than 5, it has to show
5
on the inspection it has.
5 years of,
more years.
as I'm saying, 5 years left.
Exactly.
which leads to my next thing.
Arson.
I said earlier, everyone should have a good handyman in their bag of tricks. Everyone should have a good home inspector in their bag. Anyone that they click of the button, a home inspector comes running out and is ready to serve them at any time. I don't care how long you've lived in a home. Everyone should be best friends with a home inspector. Okay, it will save you a lot of time and money. Last but not least, true or false? This is for everybody. Replacing your roof.
True.
Replacing your roof before putting it on the market will not increase the value of your home.
I would say that's
That's
a
a good
little
argument.
false.
That's a good argument.
That's a little false.
Well, I can accelerate my.
It will not. I was supposed to have a roof anyway.
But it's, if you have an old roof, the
Well, you're
listing is
not
gonna
gonna-
sit in a.
For this question, let's assume that the roof is 10, 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
So it's
Are
not
you
quite
saying
15.
dollar for dollar, or are you just saying?
Good question.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Okay, okay.
So, is it guaranteed that putting a brand new roof on your house is going to increase the value exponentially?
The same amount.
No, it's not.
No.
Sometimes it can, but it's not. But I guarantee you,
This-
it's not gonna decrease the value of your house.
Correct.
And what I also can guarantee you, I'm not a realtor, but I'm best friends. I have a couple best friends that are realtors, and they all tell me the same thing. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to sell.
Yes.
And it makes it a hell of a lot easier to sell at the incredibly high price that the seller wants to sell it for. Okay, if they're trying to overprice it, they're trying to sell a $500,000 home that should only be selling for $450,000. If it has a brand new roof, they might get away with that.
And my lender can give you better options to my buyer.
And the lender might give you better options to the buyer. So there is no good reason, even if you're trying to be cheap, not to put a brand new roof on that house, especially if it's already 12, 13 years old. Because the mortgage company for the seller is going to force the issue to begin with.
Yeah,
Or the buyer's gonna ask for a concession.
yeah.
Exactly.
And in most cases, the concession is more than what the cost of the roof would be.
Or they have to leave money on the table.
That's right.
So
It's, you have to look at what we call the non-sexy stuff today in the market. It's nice if it has nice countertops, if it's got nice flooring, if it's got new paint, whatever. However, if your roof, your AC, your plumbing, your electrical are out of date, forget it.
I love the fact that she said non-sexy. That's perfect. So I will help you with the non-sexy part of flipping that house.
It's part of that.
You need a good roofer to take care of you, an honest roofer. I'm here to serve you. Use me to abuse me. Jason, we're facing contract.
Jason, stop.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, ma'am.
If you say if you're buying a home and they have solar, okay?
Right.
And if they're not gonna pay it off in the time,
That is a
and
headache.
they'll remove it, who has to pay for all that?
So it
I
depends.
mean, what
So,
does it do to the roof of your house?
so the first thing I would do is I would try to find out if that roofing company still exists. Bingo. If that roofing company is still in business. They might, there's maybe, I'm making up a number here, but there might be 5 or 10% of them that still might exist. And then another smaller percentage that might actually be in the contract that they will come out and detach and reset it or take it off. For the most part, however, the person that owns that house, it's their responsibility to pay off the roof, to pay off the solar panel and to have it taken off if the buyer doesn't want it. Okay.
What does it do to your roof? I mean, you have to have a roof put on there?
So you're absolutely nuts if you take off the solar. If you're the buyer, you're taking off the solar because you don't want it and don't replace the roof. You're nuts.
Yeah.
Now you have holes in your
They
roof.
don't do nothing before. Everything has to be on the negotiation.
But everything, in that case, everything would be done,
And then
would be taken, negotiated long before closing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
But I was just wondering what
The roof is gonna be damaged.
The
for
roof
sure.
is guaranteed to be
Yeah,
damaged.
Yeah,
And
You have holes,
yeah.
in
Correct.
some cases hundreds, no, not that much. But if you have 50, 60 solar panels
Correct.
on a
The
big
holes.
house, then you have hundreds of holes in your roof.
A lot of roofers, they say when people have solar panels, take away the solar panels is a fee, but they don't give you a warranty when they put the solar panels after
Correct.
the new roof. Yes, and
They're-
right and
they're-
wrong.
So if you put those solar panels back on, a lot of roofing contractors, let's just hope you only have a roof like this. And all the solar panels on this side. There's a lot of roofers that are on this side of the roof, will not, the workmanship side, for any labor warranty, is now discontinued on this side of the roof.
Correct. Because it's
Or if the solar
solar
panels on both sides, you just screwed yourself.
Exactly.
Sorry, so I'm not a big fan of solar.
So I'm
Anyone
not
here-
either.
Anyone here that personally knows me, I'm not a big fan of solar, but there are situations. Yeah, okay. There are situations that solar is a good thing, but in most cases, I'm not a big fan of solar. And have a one-on-one with me, and I'll explain to you why.
Good
Thank you,
job,
Jason.
Jason. Thank you, everybody, for speaking. Now it's game time.
Oh.
Woo! So, game time. Now that you all have listened very thoroughly to this last hour,
Uh-oh.
we're gonna see how much you remember.
Okay.
All right, here are some trivia
I need
questions.
glasses. I can't help it. My glasses will not work for it.
Yeah.
Those that end up with the most number correct will end up getting extra raffle prize
But depends, it's a 10, 5, 10. Not 12, can be 20, can be 10, can be 5, can be
Alright, you know what, but the heck, go ahead, fill it out.
Do you need a pen?
Oh, I have
Do you need a
pens,
pen?
I have a whole bunch of them.
Oh,
I got
okay.
pens.
Okay, okay.
Anybody need a pen? I've got them.
Well, if I see it first.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, dear.
Well, you're not leaving, are you?
Me too.
You're not gonna tell? You're not gonna take the test? No, it's a game. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See ya. You wanna just go for it?
I ran everybody
Have
off.
fun. I put it in the back.
I cannot play the game. I don't have my glasses.
Here we go. You need a pen?
No, I don't
These
have
glasses.
I'm freaking blind.
All right, we'll take like the next 5 minutes. Fill it out.